I mean, just a hell of a job, y'all. That was a big win. Okay? That was a big win. We stacked the deck.
And it was a great team effort to beat DeWanna Bonner in her return to Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Had to feel great for the fans there to see her vanquished and not playing well, and Alyssa Thomas complaining all over the floor. Bonner booed in her return.
Basketball karma hit hard when DeWanna Bonner returned to Indy after quitting the Fever mid-season. She was booed, held to just 4 points, and watched her replacement Ary McDonald explode for 27 in a 107 to 101 Fever win without Caitlin Clark. To top it off, Bonner's fiancée, Alyssa Thomas, taunted fans just before the Mercury got cooked. Turns out, karma doesn't miss.
We got to celebrate beating down DeWanna the Scammer Bonner. Cheers, my friend. Cheers, buddy. DeWanna Bonner, I just want to start here. You stink. You stunk it up. You caused all that ruckus. I thought you stopped shooting threes hitting the side of the backboard when you took the Indiana Fever jersey off.
DeWanna Bonner's return to Gainbridge Fieldhouse was no ordinary road game. It was a reckoning. After quitting on the Fever mid-season, fans let her have it with relentless boos and chants of quitter every time she touched the ball. The hostility was raw, personal, and impossible to ignore.
Foul on Sophie Cunningham. That is her first team second. Coming in from Martin Phoenix, number 14.
Even from the bench, sidelined with a groin injury, she cheered wildly as her teammates shut down DeWanna Bonner, especially after a blocked shot and shot clock violation. Her celebration said it all. This team was united, and Bonner's exit clearly still stung.
Bonner battling with Hall. Bonner turns, fades, fires, and leaves it way short. Great defense there by Hall. Copper tracks it down and bounces with Bonner, who had her shot blocked. And it's a shot clock violation. Bonner walled off by Hall, and then blocked at the rim. Indiana has that 5-point lead in third.
Alyssa Thomas didn't just sit quietly. She taunted Fever fans all game, even telling them Bonner had joined a real team. But her trash talk backfired fast as the scoreboard flipped against them. What she thought was a power move turned into a public flop. As Alyssa Thomas ramped up her taunts, trying to shield Bonner from the boos, the night unraveled perfectly for Fever fans. Bonner scored just 4 points, grabbed 1 rebound, and watched her real team fall apart. The karma was swift, and the Fever weren't just winning, they were sending a message: quit on us, and we'll make sure you regret it.
Bonner booed in her return, which is to be expected considering the circumstances in which she left, and the players that have come in for the Fever are much better than Bonner was for them. Ary McDonald has been a revelation. She was great in this one again, and Chloe Bibby looks like a perfect fit. So all in all, Fever fans have to feel pretty damn good about that win.
With Caitlin Clark out, critics expected the Fever to crumble, but Ary McDonald had other plans. Once overlooked, McDonald seized the spotlight, proving Bonner's exit was a blessing in disguise. The former Arizona star wasn't just filling in, she was rewriting the script. Ary McDonald dropped a career-high 27 points, hitting all 10 free throws and playing with fire. She attacked the rim, dished out 4 assists, and brought the grit Bonner never showed in Indy. Phoenix simply couldn't keep up with her speed or heart.
When did you realize you had it kind of going tonight, and what kind of opened up for you? I felt like you were scoring kind of from basically everywhere.
When I seen those 2 threes go in, then I saw how easy it was, like getting into the paint. I'm like, okay, I'm converting. All right, I'm good. Like, let's keep being aggressive, or just keep taking what the defense is giving me.
McDonald had help. Chloe Bibby, on just a 7-day contract, stepped up with 10 key points, sharp shooting, and even snagged a steal. She made every minute count and proved she belonged.
Indiana trailing by 9, trying to pick up the pace here, and Chloe Bibby hits a 3.
Her in transition. Chloe Bibby's done this a million times in her time at Maryland and in practice.
Sophie Cunningham nailed a clutch 4-point play and totaled 12, while Damiris Dantas added another 12 off the bench, capping it with a slick dream shake that left Alyssa Thomas in the dust.
Mitchell, she's got the 5 fouls. Boston, Cunningham. Yes! And a foul! Sophie Cunningham! Give her 3, and she'll go for 4. Dantas battling, spins, fades, fires, and hits. Bibby, corner 3. Oh, yeah! Cunningham. Yes!
The irony? McDonald and Bibby were signed using the cap space freed by Bonner's exit. Instead of folding without Clark, the Fever found players who actually wanted to be there. Fighters, not fillers. Their chemistry and hustle overwhelmed Phoenix. And just when the Mercury thought they still had a shot, Aaliyah Boston stepped in to crush that hope.
You gotta continue to step, okay? We ain't got no room for sliding back, okay? We no room for slippage. Every day, there's a sense of urgency, okay? I was proud of you guys, the way it was offensive and defensive substitutions, being ready to go with that. Everybody who came in made an impact. We had 5 in double figures, damn near 7. Damn near 7. That's really, really good. Y'all, I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of you. Together, 3, 1, 2, 3, together!
With the game still close in the 4th, Aaliyah Boston took over. Already solid with 22 and 12, she exploded for 17 in the final quarter, including a solo 10-0 run that buried the Mercury. This was her moment, and she made sure Phoenix never had a chance.
So too has Ary McDonald, who did not start the season with the Fever, but has really come on strong. Pass inside, it's a bullet. More contact there underneath. Hull hits the ground. Austin has a size advantage here. Wants the clear out, gets the clear out, gets inside, and pushes it home.
Every bucket from Boston was a message. The Fever were more than just Caitlin Clark. She bullied her way to the line, hitting 10 of 13 free throws, finishing through contact, and punishing every Mercury misstep. This was championship energy.
Teams have now erased double-digit deficits. 9:30 to decide a winner. Howard inside, Boston, deep position.
Wow.
Dangerous pass there by McDonald, rescued by Howard. Howard trots inside, left hand off the mark. Boston pulls it down and lays it in. McDonald has just had that look in her eyes here tonight, but it's Boston taking over in the 4th.
No answers.
Boston's dominance in the paint left the Mercury scrambling. They couldn't stop her footwork, her shot creation, or her control of the game. With her 4th straight double-double, a career best, she proved she's no longer just a top pick. She's the franchise anchor, stepping up exactly when it matters most.
Nate Tibbetts.
Only 15 3-point attempts and 6 makes for Phoenix from outside the line.
Boston, step through, lays it in. You can't stop her.
Powers in the paint.
We're still playing without Kelsey Mitchell. She's got the 5 fouls. Boston, Cunningham. Yes! And a foul! Sophie Cunningham!
Gainbridge Fieldhouse erupted with every Aaliyah Boston bucket, the crowd feeding off her dominance in a playoff-like atmosphere. Her 4th quarter surge sealed the 107-101 win, proving the Fever could thrive without Clark. But the drama didn't end at the buzzer. In the postgame, Mercury star Kayla Copper slammed Fever fans for booing Bonner, calling it disrespectful. Her defense of a player who quit mid-season? tone deaf at best.
I think she handled it well. I don't understand, like, she's a legend, and just all the things that she's done for the league, and just the disrespect, I can't get down with it. They booed her. She didn't say a word to the crowd. People talk some trash to her, but we had her back. But it's just very distasteful for what their fan base is doing, as far as when it comes to DB, because it's just like, she's just the sweetest soul, and the situation didn't work for her, and that's just not what she wanted or whatever, but it's just, we don't need all of that. It's just unnecessary.
The Fever took the high road. Coach Stephanie White kept the focus on her team's performance, gracefully acknowledging the Bonner situation without fueling the drama. It was a masterclass in professionalism.
You talked a little bit about being happy for DeWanna Bonner, finding a good spot for her. What was your overall thoughts on having her there in the reception tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about the reception. I don't hear anything once I'm out on the floor, but it's weird seeing her on the other side. But at the end of the day, basketball is basketball and relationships are relationships.
Aaliyah Boston nailed it with one line. Honestly, that got nothing to do with me. She brushed off the Bonner drama and kept the spotlight on the win, showing the poise and focus of a true championship leader.
What was it like having DeWanna Bonner return to Indiana, and what were your thoughts on the fan reception tonight?
Honestly, that got nothing to do with me. I think DB returned because we were playing Phoenix, and so that happened to be that. The fans chose to do what they wanted to do, but for us it's about paying attention to what we have to do here, and that was coming in and getting a big win, which we were able to do.
The Fever's calm, mature responses made Copper's complaints look small, exposing a clear cultural gap between the two teams. While Mercury players whined, Indiana kept winning, marking their third straight victory and climbing to 6th in the standings at 15-12. This wasn't just about Clark anymore. The Fever proved they had depth, chemistry, and real playoff potential. Bonner left for something better and got humbled by the very team she ditched. Karma served courtside.
I think we actually might have just seen the worst call in the entire history of sport. And, this is a shock that it is actually not DeJounte Carrington committing a flagrant foul. DeJounte Carrington got flagrantly fouled.
DeJounte Carrington is rapidly becoming one of the WNBA's most disliked players. After the recent Dallas Wings versus Golden State Valkyries game, her reputation took yet another hit. Following weeks of controversy, she finally got a brutal taste of her own medicine, and the timing was poetic. This could be the most satisfying twist of the 2025 season.
DeJounte, you're always in a dirty play. DeJounte, once again, here we are today. Oh, DeJounte.
WNBA officiating has been questionable all year, but Carrington seemed immune, avoiding the harsh calls others, especially Caitlin Clark, faced weekly. That changed in the Golden State game, when for the first time, the ref's infamous incompetence hit her. And just like that, the tables turned.
So the ball gets swung, Janelle Salon shoots the ball. It's coming out. So, DeJounte Carrington is just shielding the ball out of bounds. She's just shielding the ball out of bounds, as you do. And Tiffany Hayes tackles her to the ground.
With under 2 minutes left and Dallas down 3, Janelle Saline missed a deep shot, triggering a scramble for the rebound. Carrington chased the ball, but wisely let it roll out to secure possession. It was a veteran move until chaos erupted. Tiffany Hayes, charging like a freight train, slammed into Carrington from behind. Both crashed to the floor. It looked like a clear foul on Hayes, reckless and out of control.
Hayes does not look nor play like she's 35. Okay, she be bringing it to them girls each and every night. She got that, acting like that face harness, okay, like to protect her face, her eyes, her nose, whatever that is. She be look like a dominatrix to me. I'd be like, bro, who is that? She looks like, it's giving Scarecrow. Or like a Black Raven vibe, okay, like a hawk. And she looks like a bird of prey, okay? And that's how she plays. She plays like a bird of prey, while the other girls in the court are just worms to her, okay? They are bird food, because she be cooking and eating everybody.
Yet somehow, the refs called the foul on Carrington. That's right. The player who had pulled back and was standing still got blamed, and the disbelief was instant and widespread. Even her critics were baffled, questioning what kind of Twilight Zone the officials were operating in.
And was able to draw a foul. I'm like, what is this? I mean, she almost deleted freaking DeWanna. I thought, like, I was really gravely concerned for DeWanna Carrington's life and health. I'm like, did y'all not just see Tiffany Hayes just throw her body up against her and slam her to the ground? This is crazy. Literally slammed her. DeWanna Carrington got pushed into a freaking old white man's lap because of Tiffany Hayes jumping on her like she ain't got no sense.
Here's where the script flips and karma kicks in. Normally, a call this bad would spark fan outrage and demands for accountability. But this wasn't just any player. It was DeWanna Carrington. Instead of anger, fans responded with applause. The online reaction was swift, brutal, and crystal clear. She had it coming.
Skylar's going down for a fast break layup. DeWanna winds up and smacks her across the head, and Skylar is on the ground having a hard time getting up. But this was something where people are saying, okay, DeWanna, this is happening a little bit too much for my liking. These hard fouls, these reckless plays are happening a little bit too much, and I want to show you guys one more play that was also in that game that actually injured Gabby Williams. Now, if you watch here, Gabby Williams is going up for a little mid-range jumper. DeWanna jumps to try to block her, and she comes down to where Gabby Williams doesn't have enough landing space. So she lands in her landing space, and then Gabby Williams rolls her ankle.
The comment section wasn't sympathetic. It was a celebration. Fans who'd watched Carrington jab Caitlin Clark, commit dirty fouls, and play instigator were thrilled to see her finally get a taste of her own medicine. Comments like, "That's karma, now she knows what Caitlin's dealt with all season," flooded in. It wasn't just justice, it was a full-on dunk on her reputation.
That call on DeWanna when Tiffany literally flew over her, wild. And then if you saw Paige's face when it was like, I think like 55 seconds left on the clock or something like that, and the coach was like giving them the next play, bro.
The reaction was so lopsided, it became a story itself. Despite being the clear victim of a bad call, no one cared. The public had already judged her. That's the price of building a brand on dirty play. When something unfair happens, no one defends you. Her reputation had come full circle, and now she was reaping what she sowed.
So once again, DeWanna Ratchet and Carrington is back at it again, being the dirty player that she is, man. So now we're pulling players to the floor by their hair. But what did we tweet earlier this week, everybody? Y'all fans swear I'm such a dirty player. I'm so over this narrative. But I just play hard as and I just make a play on the ball. And I'm tired of people calling me a dirty player.
Calling it one of the worst foul calls of the year might be too kind. Carrington did everything right, backed off, stayed planted, made no contact. Hayes barreled in and flattened her, yet the foul went on Carrington. Even Valkyrie's fans who benefited were cringing. Dallas fans were furious, and for good reason. That blown call cost the Wings a crucial possession in a tight game. The Valkyries pulled away to win by 10, but the real headline wasn't the score. It was that ridiculous call.
Listed as Dallas ball. But do you know what another referee called? So one says it's Dallas ball. Another referee, as you can see right here. Salon miss. Valkyrie's rebound. Apparently Tiffany Hayes got the rebound. And DeWanna fouled Tiffany Hayes. Apparently, Tiffany Hayes got the rebound and got fouled by jumping on DeWanna Carrington.
The irony was rich. This was the same Carrington who spent the season dodging accountability. The one who poked Caitlin Clark in the eye on national TV with no technical. The one whose flagrants got downgraded, who sparked chaos needing ref protection, yet faced no real consequences. After months of dishing it out, she finally had to take it on one of the game's biggest plays.
As everyone else has seen this angle, I'm calling her in, and I'm saying to her, I need answers.
The context made it even sweeter. This wasn't a throwaway game. Dallas needed the win to keep playoff hopes alive. That awful call, where Carrington got whistled for just standing still, shifted momentum and helped Golden State clinch it. It wasn't just karma, it had real consequences. Her team paid for her reputation, and she couldn't stop it. That's poetic justice. Carrington spent the season elbowing, taunting, and taking cheap shots, walking like she ruled the league. But this time, the refs didn't just stop shielding her, they turned on her. And the same bad officiating that plagued Caitlin Clark finally hit one of the league's dirtiest players.
Is this? Look, pulling players to the floor by their hair is not making plays on the ball. This is not basketball. WNBA. When is she gonna get fined, suspended, or kicked out of the league for this reckless behavior? This is the fourth incident. The Lynx incident, taking out Ariel Atkins, taking out Skylar Diggins, and now the LA Sparks. When is it gonna stop, man? When is accountability gonna be taken for her being the dirty player and ratchet that she is?
Usually, when a player gets burned by the refs, fans speak out, analysts dissect the replay, and the player becomes a poster child for bad officiating. But with Carrington, nothing. Actually, worse than nothing. Most people just said, that's what she gets. It showed how little goodwill she's earned. When your misfortune entertains more than it outrages, you've entered full villain mode. And it's a sign fans are losing trust, not just in players, but in the WNBA's ability to enforce fairness at all.
And she ends up getting Shepard in the face, the nose. I don't know which takes precedent. Oh, see, it's the hit the ball and then it's the pull back. They're showing it on the Jumbotron at a different angle that sort of looked like, watch after Carrington goes for the block, watch her pull back right here. And that's the part that I don't know if you separate that. Do you separate that?
Fans should be upset about a blown call, no matter who it's against. If the league wants credibility, justice has to matter, even for disliked players. But Carrington's case shows we're not there. Instead of demanding better officiating, fans cheered karma. That reveals something deeper is broken. Carrington became the outlet for years of frustration, not just over her reckless play, but the league's failure to hold her accountable. Her style made her the poster child for a larger issue, no real consequences. And when that's the norm, don't be shocked when fans celebrate injustice instead of condemning it. That's bad for any sport.
Doesn't matter how many times DeWanna Carrington wants to get on her social media and want to claim that she's the victim and that she's not a dirty player. The league has rescinded fouls. Yeah, the league's rescinding flagrant fouls on you because it's run by a bunch of cowards. They're flagrant fouls. They're dirty plays. They're trashy plays. Someone's going to get very physically injured. At this point, DeWanna Carrington, forget about it. You won't beat these allegations.
From a basketball standpoint, this is a major red flag. If a playoff race can hinge on a call that bad, how can fans trust any outcome? When wins and losses are shaped by officiating, not skill or strategy, the league's legitimacy suffers. And if the WNBA wants to go mainstream, it can't let moments like this slide. The fan reaction, shrugging off a blown call because they disliked the player, was more than viral. It was a warning. The league's credibility is on thin ice. So what now for Carrington? This wasn't just an image hit, it was a turning point. Sure, critics are relishing the irony, but it highlights real concerns about how she's perceived. To be fair, Carrington's talented. She earned most improved, her defense is elite, and her offense has grown. But none of that matters if it's drowned out by controversy. When even your own fans won't defend you after a bad call, It's time for a reality check. Her reputation is now hurting more than helping.
Sophie Cunningham is going viral right now for a TikTok video she made.
Sophie Cunningham gets fined $500 by Kathy Englebrain
for making this slick TikTok.
$500 is absolutely hilarious.
Once again, the WNBA has crossed the line.
Sophie Cunningham actually posted this herself, stating, "I got fined $500.
Sophie Cunningham didn't get fined for a foul or a heated reaction. She got hit with a $500 penalty for saying what fans have been yelling all year. WNBA officiating is a joke, and she had the guts to call it out.
Fans, they're responding to this video because she's calling out WNBA officiating, WNBA refs.
Cunningham posted the video 6 days ago. It shows her lip-syncing lyrics from Sabrina Carpenter's song Man-Child. The caption to the video is, "At some refs."
Stupid. Or is it slow? Maybe it's useless.
Yesterday, Cunningham reposted the video on X with a caption about the fine.
Worse yet, she wasn't just speaking for herself. She was standing up for Caitlin Clark, the league's biggest target.
Cunningham criticized some refs by describing them as stupid, slow, and useless. Damn!
Sophie Cunningham took an elbow to the face, and the ref did nothing. No call, no whistle, no reaction. Just silence, as if headshots are now part of the game. The message? Take the hit. No one's stopping it. And rather than address the issue, the league fined Sophie for posting the video. She spoke out, and the WNBA made her pay for it.
You guys don't remember what happened in this game. In the Sun game, right before this, she got chucked out of bounds and the referee just stared and watched. And then she got elbowed in the face 2 possessions later and the referees just watched.
Sophie got hit in the back of the head with the elbow, right? Ref looking right at it, didn't do a thing, didn't say a thing, was shaking her head like, nah, you flopped. That is crazy work.
This wasn't just about a TikTok. It was a warning. A clear message to silence anyone daring to speak up, especially for Caitlin Clark, who's taken hits and cheap shots all season while refs look the other way.
At some refs. Stupid, slow, useless. Oh my goodness, man.
Following play, Sophie Cunningham breathes on a player, gets called for a foul. Referees were definitely not doing Sophie any favors that game and purposely ignoring, dare I say, flagrant fouls. Elbowing somebody in their shoulder, elbowing somebody in their neck, face area. Yeah, that's a flagrant foul. There's no other way to slice it.
Sophie's message hit hard because it was true. And it echoed what Indiana Fever players have felt all season. Rough play, targeted fouls, and zero protection. The fine wasn't just punishment, it was a warning. Stay quiet or you're next.
I got fined $500 for this TikTok. I don't know why this is funny to me. Like, okay, you got it, bud, because there's not more important things to be worried about with our league right now.
Give Sophie credit. This wasn't just a rant. It was leadership, honest, raw, and real. The league punished her, but fans backed her instantly.
Caitlin Clark, and you can tell she's talking about being mentally beat down. We also know she's physically beat down. Why does this keep happening? And look, it's not just the Fever, it's not just Caitlin. There's a bunch of players across the leagues that's been speaking out against this.
Support flooded in. Players, reporters, fans, even WNBA legends. Everyone saw it for what it was. Sophie wasn't just fined, she became a symbol of the league's deeper problems.
Am I shocked that an activist basketball league decided to target Sophie Cunningham? No, I'm not surprised by that. I mean, this whole league's got all of its priorities all bleeped up, especially from social media, this and that and the other, but that's not the point. She should not be getting fined for this.
Her fine was just another chapter in the league's playbook. Punish those who speak out, especially if they defend Caitlin Clark. Meanwhile, the ones taking shots at her, protected, untouchable.
It doesn't seem that Cunningham will receive another fine from the WNBA for her posts and her continued criticism of the league.
Stacey Dales, who covers the NFL, has been on NFL Network forever. She's laughing her ass off about this.
Let's be real. Caitlin Clark's taken more cheap shots than anyone in years. Elbows, slams, trips, shoves, and she still gets the fewest calls. Fans now hold their breath on every layup, not to see if she scores, but if she survives it.
Sophie gets fined for TikTok, but players can bulldoze Caitlyn almost every game with no response from the league.
It's not just unfair, it's dangerous. And the silence from the league is infuriating.
And Caitlyn, she's been through the same BS. We see the pattern, and the league better start seeing it too.
Take this. Sophie gets elbowed, no call. She says a few words to the ref, who replies, "I'll remember that." Minutes later, she's hit with a phantom foul. That's not officiating, that's payback.
There's obviously, I did a video last night about Caitlin Clark, and you can tell she's talking about being mentally beat down. We also know she's physically beat down.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark gets mocked online after an eye injury, even by a teammate. Opponents laugh about it on Instagram. And the league? Silent. No fines, no action, nothing.
When Caitlin Clark returns, she's not getting abused and the referees are keeping their mouth shut. It's going to take somebody on the team to consistently speak out, because we know damn sure the coach is too scared to get fined. Oh, you guys going to fine me again? This is the game that after pushing and shoving for a jump ball, she says 2 words to the referee. The referee says, "Oh, I'll remember that." Following play, Sophie Cunningham breathes on a player, gets called for a foul. Referees were definitely not doing Sophie any favors that game.
This is the double standard fans are fed up with.
When last year, after Caitlin Clark got poked in the eye, dirty DeJanae Carrington and Alyssa Smith got on IG and made us mocking Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark is the WNBA's biggest draw, breaking viewership records, selling tickets, driving revenue. She's the league's engine, yet they won't protect her. Worse, they punish those who try. That's why Sophie's fine matters. She didn't just challenge a bad call, she exposed a broken system. The league isn't protecting stars, it's protecting its story.
Caitlin Clark has changed the game. She changed it in college and in the WNBA.
The country has fallen in love with what we have created. And America, here's the girl next door, all grown up, Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark has captivated the nation, breaking scoring records in college and bringing women's basketball to a whole new audience.
She is a phenomenon.
Sophie didn't start drama. She posted a video after taking an elbow. That alone got her fined. Meanwhile, players rough up Caitlin Clark without consequence. Fans see it. Even casual viewers spot the double standard. Sophie gets punished for a TikTok, but others can flatten Caitlin and joke about it online. This isn't inconsistency. It's a warning. Stay quiet.
As long as Kathy Engelbert is going to play one of the 3 blind mice, they're going to keep doing it. As long as Adam Silver just ignores this crap.
So what happens? Players go silent. Coaches look the other way. No one wants to be the next target for speaking out.
And all right, that is crazy work. They have to do better by these players. You have to protect these players, man. Protect your talent. It's as simple as that.
But Sophie spoke up. She took the hit on the court and off it to stand up for a teammate. That's rare in today's WNBA. This isn't about $500. It's about a culture where speaking out gets punished and doing the damage doesn't.
Sophie Cunningham is not the type who keeps her feelings to herself. The Indiana Fever star is quite outspoken, and she has no issue expressing her beliefs publicly, even if it gets her in trouble.
Fans have had it. The moment Sophie shared her fine, outrage lit up online. Loud, focused, and relentless. The league's socials got flooded. Some fans even offered to cover the fine themselves. That's how fed up people are.
Instead, let's fine the players because they're speaking out loud. It would be different. If the officiating was at least solid, I'd be like, yeah, you can't run your mouth about the referees. The officiating in this league blows chunks.
One viral comment nailed it. Sophie gets fined for a TikTok, but Caitlin gets hit, mocked, and ignored. That message spread fast. Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Kathy Engelbert? Silent. No statement, no defense, just silence. And it's becoming her trademark.
How did we get to an all-star game in Indiana where Caitlin Clark is not healthy enough to play? Well, it all started last year, in her rookie season, where she received 20% of all the flagrant fouls in the league. And most of them came from Angel Reese in the Chicago Sky. And these weren't basketball plays. They were not only fouling her, but they were getting up, laughing about it, laughing about Caitlin Clark getting assaulted. Any other work environment, people go to jail for what's going on.
This was Engelbert's chance to lead, to back the players elevating the league and putting their bodies on the line. Instead, she chose punishment over conversation, control over courage. Now, fans aren't just angry, they're disillusioned.
And last year, I noticed how much it was just Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark was taking all the hits. Caitlin Clark was taking all the abuse. But this year they've added Sophie Cunningham. She gets more flagrant fouls on her than anybody in the league besides Caitlin Clark. And Aaliyah Boston, she's been taking hits as well. But the worst thing is the consistency. So they don't call flagrant fouls, or most of the time, Caitlin Clark could be held for an entire game at a time. They don't call fouls. They don't call common fouls. But then when it's the Indiana Fever, guess what? Touch foul here, touch foul here. They call absolutely nothing.
Let's not forget, Caitlin Clark is the reason the WNBA is even part of the national conversation. She's breaking records, making headlines, and drawing eyes to every game, hers or not. So when she gets hammered with no call, and those who defend her get punished, the message is loud and chilling. The league doesn't care about its biggest star.
A bunch of players and coaches of the last few days have complained without being fine-worthy about officiating. I just want to see about your thoughts on if officiating is an issue and how it can be improved, because clearly there seems to be problems or disconnect between what players and coaches feel and what officials are actually calling.
This was the WNBA's moment to prove it values fairness over optics, players over PR. Instead, it chose silence, and now it's paying the price.
But, it is another situation than pretending like Caitlin Clark doesn't exist.
They want to make the trajectory look like it's going up and not down. It's whatever, man. We see what's going on.
They're trying to make it so that the data looks as favorable as possible.
ESPN didn't want to show the ratings were down from WNBA All-Star Game because Caitlin Clark didn't play, so they just used the 2023 numbers instead.
ESPN lying.
ESPN got exposed for twisting the truth about WNBA All-Star ratings to cover up the fallout from Caitlin Clark's absence. The cover-up was so sloppy, even their own journalists called it out. After the 2025 game dropped 36% in ratings, from 3.44 million in 2024 to 2.2 million, ESPN ignored last year's record and instead compared it to 2023 to fake growth.
Yes, you guys heard me correctly. The numbers are in. And just like I told you, there was a boycott.
You got to understand, these numbers, they did 2 million viewers. That's up from 2023. 2023 was a little over 900,000. So it is up. So the numbers are going up. But compared to last year, it fell by 40%.
Oh, so they going to try to spin it. Okay, it could be the second most watched of all time. Of course, it's going to be that, but compared to last year, you still down 36%.
What makes ESPN's spin worse is the game was in Caitlin Clark's home arena, Indianapolis. It was meant to be a major WNBA celebration, the league's biggest stage in its biggest star's city. But instead of triumph, it became a ratings disaster so bad, ESPN tried to fake a success story.
They're just skewing data.
So it's up 158% compared to 23. What happened to 24? Y'all just gonna skip over 24? What?
Thing is, this could be disingenuous too. That's the bad side of it, because for some reason they have a thing where they want to compare everything without Caitlin. They're like, oh, well, she's an anomaly, so we could compare these numbers to 2023 and show you that without Caitlin, it's growing.
This is very similar to the WNBA draft, comparing it to 2023. Very similar to how they are presenting this graph.
The mess began on July 15th when Clark aggravated a groin issue during Indiana's win over Connecticut. Hours after she announced she'd skip All-Star Weekend, ticket prices crashed 48%, from $121 to $64. Fans made it clear, no Caitlin Clark, no interest. This wasn't a small dip. It exposed how reliant the WNBA is on a 23-year-old. It's striking, as Clark missed 10 games this season after never missing one in college or her rookie year. Can networks be trusted when they have money in the leagues they cover?
So for all the people that thought that it wasn't a boycott against this All-Star game, it was, bro. People was just DMing me, telling me that they weren't going to look at it. People was telling me that they refunded their tickets. I was even supposed to be there, and I decided not to go because of the things with the referees and the WNBA disrespecting Caitlyn.
1,250,000 viewers, woof, out of existence. No Caitlin Clark, not tuning in.
ESPN's sleight of hand is clear in how they framed their historic rating success. They didn't just skip 2024, they picked 2023 data before Clark went pro and when the WNBA drew little attention. Instead of admitting ratings dropped by over 1 million, ESPN promoted a misleading stat that 2025 was up 158% from 2 years ago. It wasn't a mistake. It was a calculated PR move to distract from the fallout of Clark's absence.
So all of you guys can sit there and say, oh, you guys are just trying to uplift one player. Oh, the league is more than one. I agree, the league is more than one player. It's more than one good basketball player. But is there more than one player that moves the tide? No. We just have to be honest. It's okay.
What gives it away is ESPN's sudden shift in tone. All season, they praised Clark for boosting growth and selling out arenas. But when the All-Star game flopped without her, they claimed no single player matters. They pointed to Friday's Skills Challenge, getting 1.3 million viewers, up 89% from last year, but left out that the jump came from format changes and prime time slots, not a rise in league interest. The boost wasn't about Reese, Wilson, or others. It was fans still hoping Clark might show.
There is fans that are just Caitlin Clark fans. I said this yesterday. If Caitlin Clark was to leave to go to New York or any other damn team, expect significant impact in the Indiana Fever viewership, bro. People might tune in for that first season without Caitlin if she was to leave, but after that, it is over with.
There was plenty of people I saw online who said, yo, Caitlin Clark not playing. Oh, she's hurt and they don't want to call fouls. Okay, I'm not giving them a view. I'm not gonna watch. There was plenty of people that boycotted watching this WNBA All-Star.
The fallout went beyond TV. Clark's All-Star exit set off a domino effect across the WNBA's business. Ticket sales, merch, and sponsorship values all took a hit. The market reacted like it lost its center. ESPN's spin couldn't hide what fans saw. The 48% ticket price drop wasn't minor. It was a clear message from fans who paid to see Caitlin Clark and didn't care about her replacements.
You can see when Caitlin doesn't play, it happens. And how are we meant to know that if Caitlin ends up missing a year, Caitlin's gone, that all those fans don't just leave again?
They know they need Caitlin Clark to grow this league, man.
It wasn't just empty seats. Social media was flooded with fan cancellations. People shared scrapped trips, resold tickets, and skipped the broadcast. The WNBA didn't just lose viewers, it lost momentum. This wasn't fringe, it was a visible fan boycott ESPN tried to bury by inflating numbers to keep sponsors from panicking over a WNBA without its star.
Why not just not put up 153, just say 2.2 million average viewers, and then just say second most watched All-Star game ever behind 2024, which is fine. You don't even have to say how down bad it is. It's a PR page.
Instead of trying to down Caitlin Clark and diminish her to the level that other people may be at, why don't you promote the other people alongside of Caitlin Clark's greatness?
The financial fallout from Clark's injury hit more than the arena. It rippled through Indianapolis. Hotels, restaurants, and shops prepared for a Clark-driven tourism boost, even stocking up on Fever gear. But once she was out, crowds shrank, momentum stalled, and ESPN ignored the economic impact, focusing on selective stats. Her absence didn't just show her value, it exposed a league-wide void. Nafisa Collier scored 36 and won MVP, but it barely registered. No viewership surge, no buzz. The WNBA hasn't built another star who draws national attention. A failure of branding, not just talent.
Caitlin Clark was in it. We're going to say it's up on non-Caitlin Clark numbers because, Caitlin Clark's just an anomaly. Caitlin Clark's not a player. Caitlin Clark is not relevant to this. Caitlin Clark is an anomaly.
Y'all are trying to straddle the fence. We want your money, but we don't want you. Which one is it? Which one is it? We want the viewership, but we only want viewership from certain people's fans. We want the ratings up, but we don't want these type of no. Do you want it or not? You got to accept what comes with everything. The good, the bad, the ugly.
The backlash to ESPN's spin came fast. Journalist Christine Brennan called out their framing, questioning why they promoted historic ratings despite a major drop from last year. Her viral tweet exposed ESPN's deception. It wasn't just fans, it was respected media voices drawing the line. Then Austin Karp of Sports Business Journal added key context ESPN ignored. Clark drives numbers, and without her, they tank. He showed a clear pattern of declines tied to her absence, proving the WNBA's reliance on her and ESPN's choice to cover it up.
Now, many other people stated that, you know what? It was sold out. It was not a boycott. Well, you know the old saying, men lie, women lie, and the numbers don't. This is a case of the numbers not lying.
By comparing this year's All-Star numbers to 2023, ESPN admitted what they won't say outright. There's a pre-Clark and post-Clark WNBA. These are different worlds in fan interest and commercial value. Using 2023, when Clark was in college and viewership was low, was a deliberate attempt to hide this year's collapse. It highlights how the league's visibility and finances hinge on one player, a truth ESPN won't say aloud to sponsors or investors.
I believe that it's everything also leading up to this. I mean, talk about leading up to this. The officiating, I think enough fans had it up to here with the league as a whole. People had it up to here. You got to understand. Caitlin Clark is getting beat up in these games. The refs aren't calling anything. Kathy Engelbert seems to have air between both of her ears. She seems to have pure air floating between her ears. And I think people are fed up.
ESPN spent the season praising Clark for driving viewership and lifting the league until the numbers crashed without her. Then suddenly, star power didn't matter. That flip-flop shatters their entire narrative. If Clark isn't vital, why make her the face of the WNBA? It's a story built on selective truth, and it collapses under its own weight. But this goes beyond image. It hits players in the pocket. Right now, WNBA athletes are fighting for better pay, with TV ratings as a key bargaining chip. Those pay us what you owe us shirts? They weren't fashion. They were a demand for fairness. And ESPN's spin? It didn't just blur the truth. It sabotaged their leverage. By burying the 36% drop, they painted a fake picture of growth. Clark's impact is real. The collapse without her is real. And pretending otherwise doesn't just distort the story, it rewrites the future.